Morning, y'all. There we go, that was what was in my Titleist bag yesterday. Thank you for everyone who watched and commented. Wow, there you go. And some people asking me about what my putter, my custom putter is. I'll let you know as soon as it comes. I've got to wait, so I think you'll have to wait too. So I did a poll yesterday with today's vlog in mind. So I asked what makes a golf club, specifically drivers, better. Should we look at some of the results, because I think this is a really important message and one that relates obviously to my deal, and it relates to what I think people are watching when it comes to reviews. And to be honest with you, it relates to something that I've fought for years, and one of the reasons why I started doing reviews is that it's always that one, it's that comment that you get from members and golfers where they say, oh, that driver's rubbish but this one's great. And I just think, I don't quite get that comment. I never have done. So 15% said distance makes a driver better. Direction was 27%. 46% looks and feel. And then 12% other. Lots of people choosing the other or commenting saying it's all of the above. So let's talk about how they're all right and they're all wrong, and maybe feel and looks. I mean, if I had to pick one, I'd have put feel and looks as well. The people putting direction, 27%, that is a little bit scary. But we're going to talk about that because it's not as well, so it's hard to have the kind of context of what they mean. So today's vlog, what makes a golf club better. If you want to pause the video now, post comments down below what you think makes a golf club, so specifically a driver, better or not. Let's hear you before we go into my reasons. So 15% of people chose distance on that poll. That is what makes a driver better, distance. So let's clarify that, because there's going to be a percentage of those people, if you take, say, when I use Sub-Zero or any low spinning, LS Tech, D3 a little bit more than D2, TaylorMade with the weights forward in M1, obviously don't know yet with the new ones. All the manufacturers that make those kind of low spinning versions, I hit them further. So as in, my longest shot with those is further than my longest shot with other clubs, because I launch it high. I've got a good delivery that launches it up in the air. You take the spin off that with that height, it goes through the air further. The problem is when I start miss-hitting it, the spin drops off so much, because I'm a low spin player, that the ball actually goes shorter, like noticeably shorter. So what I do is I use them and I like it, and I'm seduced by a few long balls or, you know, longer shots, and I'm kind of laughing that I've outdriven people. And then I just run back to the more kind of stabilized spin model, because it on average works better, and I feel I can shape it better. It's like easier for my delivery to move it how I want. So I would argue that distance is actually worse than for me. For me personally, distance, if you give me a driver that gives me the most distance, I'm worse. I find it harder to control. Now, to also think that distance is a criteria, to think that one driver goes further than another, apart from if we are only talking one spinning higher and one spinning lower. If you take a Titleist D2, a Ping G400, a M2, let's say, and M1, because obviously you move the weights back, a Callaway Epic Standard, who am I missing out? I'm just trying to name every man of Cobra's standard one, just so everyone's happy, you know? If you fit them correctly, the loft around your launch, the weight shaft that you like the feel of, the flex shaft that you like the feel of, and that can change from company to company subject to the weight in the head and the grip and all the other aspects, they go 262, hashtag 262. So if people are still out there, so what was it, 15%? Let's take 5% off of them thinking, you know, they are saying like a lower spinning one. You think that a golf club's going to be going further. They're buying on distance, or think I'm rating on distance. Like, I'm showing you distances in reviews to try and make sure that you understand that it's you, it's not the club. The biggest thing I find that changes distance for golfers is when I give them a lesson. So if you get someone hitting 2 down and change them to hitting 2 up, instantly you see different distances subject to other deliveries. If you get someone who's all constantly like dotting the strike everywhere on the face, and then you find a kind of a zone that you can get them to hitting consistently with a swing fork, with an idea, then we start seeing a more consistent distance. Thinking a driver is better because of distance, yeah. Post comments down below. On all these comments, post comments down below, let me know, because it baffles me. Centre hits are controlled. You can't test for miss hits like I hopefully showed yesterday. Anyone who hasn't watched my live, go and watch the live I did with Dan yesterday. Humanly test. Maybe over a year you'll have an inkling. But when you start putting roll and bounce in, which is obviously all out of your control, within reason, not all, but 90%, you know, if it's going to hit downslope and all those kind of things. It amazes me that people are still feeling that. And I think, and the reason I'm doing this video is because, you know, I see top 10 videos, top 10 best drivers, and I see people saying this one's better than that one, and I just don't get that. I don't get it. How could, like, it's so specific to the person. So we're going to go down all of these. Post comments on the distance ones. What do you think of my thoughts there? Come on, love to hear you. Let's go to school. The next one on the list is direction. And direction was 27%. Now I need to get my head around that, and I do see this. So direction could be that you buy a draw biased one and then all of a sudden you find your direction is improved because it's countering whatever you bring to the table. Direction could be similar to what I'm saying with my low spin to high spinning one. So I find it easier to control when the CG is further back than further forward for direction, more because I can hit both shapes. I would never say, like I do see this clubs, so these brands of clubs are much straighter than that brands of clubs. Which again is where defining better, which is the big question, gets so complicated, because it's where the CG is placed, isn't it? It's not the brand. Because all the brands will put it, they'll give you an option, all the big brands anyway, they give you a low spin, a medium spin, a high spin in one, or what have you. So that one worries me a little bit, but I can see where the logic in it is. But let's not forget, it's so player delivery specific, not brand specific, which is where I think always the confusion is. Like testing for dispersion, unless you're highlighting someone's delivery and how a different weight can promote a different delivery. So I'll give you an example. My rinky dinks that stayed in my bag, my only concern I have with that club is I can overdraw it sometimes. So depending on how I'm feeling at the time, I'll take dead aim or I'll aim to the right. But I can equally keep it there. I can equally hit it dead straight. So then there's a part of me that thinks if I had a hybrid, so like the Titleist one that I will try at some point, which you could change the lie on slightly, or that you can put the weight slightly more in the heel, and it takes that overdraw away, I would know where I need to aim it, dead aim it all the time. I wouldn't say that makes that Titleist club better than the Rinky Dinks. It just gives me a different option, because the Rinky Dinks is still a great club. I could just put some lead tape on the outside of Rinky Dinks if I wanted to, or what I could do, which I would do if I was actually competing in this game, is I could aim further right and just learn my pattern a bit more with it. Because obviously what I'm saying is I get on a course and I don't know where it's going to go because I haven't played for 2 weeks. So I actually don't know if it's going to draw or not. So it's me, it's on me, it's my face to path delivery. And there lies the other big thing here. No matter what is advertised at you, face the path, stroke, strike is always going to dominate what happens to your shape of shots and direction. I see some concerning ideas around dispersion, often related as left and right. Dispersion short and long, much bigger when it comes to club testing. I think 27% of those, hopefully a big percentage of them are talking about, you know, if club is weight bias to help them, but I do fear that there's a big percentage of those people who are just thinking that one club is straighter than another, as in it might be for them, but that's subject to all their many different delivery ideas. Does that make sense? Come on, hit down there, post those comments. Does it make sense? Yeah, I'm practicing. Come on boys, get up in that loft. Just get up there. This is Barfield, hit a curb last night and her tyre is now flat. So I am off to try and get that fixed. Actually, I won't be fixing that. That is as flat as a pancake. She must have walloped it last night. I got a meeting to go to instead. Right, so 45% of people, and this is pleasing, put feels and looks. It would have been interesting to see how that changed before I started doing reviews and trying to show people maybe that feel and looks is a big part of this. Having 45% saying feels and looks is really encouraging, and to be honest with you, a lot of people were saying all of the above in the comments, so that's why some of them picked other as well, which we'll come to. Because feel and looks, at the end of the day, if you think about it, if they all perform so similar, hashtag 262, when correctly fit, then feel and looks are going to play such an important role. And you will be amazed how much baggage golfers bring to the table in lessons in fitting on the course. You know, just feelings of playing holes well and bad in the past can make them stand on that tee again And it affects their performance, it affects their state, it affects the amount of time they take over the ball, even how they deliver the club, subject to their skill level. So if you think about the mental side of golf, and mental being, you know, golf's pretty mental, then it's very obvious why feel and looks is going to be one of the biggest defining factors when it comes to defining if a club is better or worse. And as you see, as we go through this list, the thing that worries me the most is people saying, and it's a small percentage, but they still need addressing, that they think one club is better than another, when actually if people were to say, I feel like this one works better for me, is very different to someone saying, I think this club is better than that one. Or in my instance, people saying, you will say that one's better than that one. And whenever I ask them to define what better is, they never come back. They never come back and answer, because if you think it through, the criteria needs to be defined before you define what's better, don't you? Really? Right, bro!
Alright, bro.
No.
Oh, how embarrassing.
And then there's a face one coming as well. It's going to stare right at me as I put it on the tee. It'll stare right back at me. Me looking at me. Alright, Mark? Alright, Mark, how you doing, man?
262, yeah, I'm right. You, yeah.
How do you that one, 262? Oh, that driver's better than that one. Hashtag 262. There we go, thanks for watching. Another fun vlog, post comments down below on all those points. I just think it's such a muddy area, isn't it? There are a group of people out there who seem to think that one is better than the other. And I think that is an important message for me as a coach, because it takes away from where the real issue is. If people think they can buy a game, that needs eating. We're actually strike rules. It's all on you. All you can do is get something to match you, and we're all different. Come on, hit the comment section up. Don't be afraid to subscribe if you don't already to the channel. Loads of great videos coming. It's going to be a big year, this one.